Greetings and welcome back. So I am back in Archcraft Linux. I actually deleted CachyOS from my system because I couldn't update it properly. Now, I don't want to bring down CachyOS. It's a very good operating system, and if I weren't such a distro hopper, I would probably just download the Cachy ISO, reinstall it, and I'm quite sure it would probably work fine. And recently, a few months back, the Arch repository has changed, so I think maybe that affected CachyOS. So I don't want to put down or blame CachyOS and say it's a bad distribution. It was running great for me, but I just want to try something new, and right now that new thing is Archcraft Linux. Even though basically under the hood they're kind of the same, I like this interface it's got going for it. But I'm rambling, I digress, I apologize. So let's get on to what I wanted to show you today. So today we are going to talk about aliases, but first I want to show you my NeoFetch. So I changed it to bash, good old bash. Originally ZSH was the default shell, but bash does come with Archcraft. So if I type which bash, it shows me the location. And to change the shell, all you do is type chsh-s and then the path, the full path of the shell, which is /user/bin/bash. And a trick here, for those who don't know, there's a easy way to cut and paste with your mouse. So highlight, and you hit the middle scroll wheel button. So you don't scroll, you click it. You click your middle button, and then it'll paste. That trick can be done in pretty much any terminal, but let's move on. So here it'll ask you to change your password, and then it'll say shell has been changed, but then you'll have to reboot for it to activate. Now for me, that was just a demonstration. It's already using bash, so there's no sense for me doing this. So I'll just exit out of this with Control-C, and we'll go on to the next step. So I'll exit out of this. So why did I change it back to bash? Well, I'm just familiar with bash, and it comes standard with most distributions, so there's no sense. I'm not a super terminal user, so I use terminal once in a while, but I'm not I don't live in the terminal, so bash is fine for me. So the reason why I use bash though is I like to have my aliases, and this is basically what it's about today, this video. So first, before I go to my aliases, I'll go to my bash rc file. And for those who don't know what rc stands for, it usually stands for runtime config file. So this is the configuration file for bash, and I don't remember exactly, but I don't think it came like this. I think I copied it over from CachyOS, and then I added a few things. So I added this thing here, right, which is an alias called aliases, right? And I'll show you what it does later. But basically it reads my aliases file. And then from here, right, you have this if statement. So basically if this file exists, run this file. If it doesn't exist, it's fine. So you can have these lines in your bash rc. If it doesn't exist, then nothing will happen, right? And then here at the end, I just launch the ls command, right? Before I used to launch the NeoFetch command, but I don't need to run NeoFetch all the time. So we'll get out of that. And then this is my aliases file, right? So this one you have to make yourself, right? So I'll get out of that and I'll show you the command though. So if I type aliases, there you go. I'll enlarge that for you guys. Right there, and then so if I'm in the terminal and I forget the name of my aliases, I can just type the command which I made, which is called aliases, and then it reads my aliases file, right? So this is just a productivity tip. Certain people don't like the syntax of Pac-Man. For example, one YouTuber I watch, I won't say his name, but he'll say, what is the logic? Maybe not in those exact words, but what is the logic of sudo pacman -s? right? It's much more logical to have something like sudo pacman install, right? Or, you know, in Debian it's sudo apt install, right? But whatever, once you know the syntax, it's fine. But if you don't like the syntax, you can make an alias. So for install, right, for the alias install, I use sudo pacman-s, right? So that's how you install stuff in pacman. And to have an alias for remove here, sudo pacman-r, and update. So these are the main three things you would do with pacman, right? Update, you would do it regularly, install once in a while, and remove once in a while. Everything, and then there's other stuff here also, right? But so we'll just test that out, right? We'll do an update. It won't do that much, I don't think, because I just updated it earlier, so I doubt there's any more updates right now. But there you go. At least it works. You can see that it works. And then we'll do an install. So I plan to install the XFCE panel, so XFCE for panel, right? I'm going to fool around with that at a later time, and why, and there you go, right? So you don't have to do this just in Arch. You can do this aliases trick in Debian, Alpine, whatever distro you want. So the syntax won't bother you. You can have the same alias to install stuff in any distro. So that was just a quick productivity trick that I use, and I hope it was helpful for you. I do plan to have another tips and tricks video coming very shortly today, but I was thinking of combining them, but I think no, it's better to separate them so that in the future when people search, it's just easier. So that's all for now, but stay tuned and I'll be back very soon with another video. But until next time, guys, take care, peace out, have a good day. Tambucha out. Bye-bye.